Okay.
We are live. Let me see. So we're going to wait for people to join. You know how people are now. Maybe network or something. As
Right.
it's 6:01 already. Okay, it's 6 o'clock where I am actually.
Wow, like 6 p.m.
Yeah, where I
Okay.
am. Okay. I wanted to confirm that we're live. So we're live, but we would just wait for a few people to join us so that we start. Because when we start, we have a lot of questions. When we start,
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop. And usually people will now come and ask questions that we've already addressed.
Answered. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just wait for like 5 minutes when it's 2:05 at your end, 3:05 at my end. Whatever the time is at your end, as long as it's 5 minutes, we will start.
Okay. No
Okay.
You're looking fine, oh, this girl.
I
Fine
dressed up for
girl.
you. I dressed up for you.
Wait, I did not even put in any effort. No, I was actually just sleeping. I said, let me just get up and then read the questions. After reading the questions, Sophie now called me. She's even working. So she now called me and she was like, are you joining? I said,
I
yeah, I
wanted
have to
Sophie
join.
to join this live.
Yeah, it would have actually been fun. It would have been fun. But then she
It would have
said
been fun.
she's working. So I said,
Maybe I'll
okay,
have
no
a
wahala.
separate live session with her.
For her, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has different experiences.
Exactly. And because
Yeah,
you're in a very different faculty, that's
exactly.
why it's very
Yeah,
different.
that's true.
Okay, welcome everybody to this session, student experience or international student experience session on the Get Ahead family. Okay. Here, this session is just here to help you make a decision or compare and contrast between people's experiences. We're not saying that our guest experience represents every other person's experiences, but at least from one person's experience, you can draw lessons. You can say, okay, I'm not going to do this, I'll do this. And we're also going to get tips from our guest because our guest is a recent graduate from Qmul University. Hey, graduate something! Master's degree in the bag. Put some respect on my name, okay?
Put it on my name.
Exactly. So yes, congratulations.
Right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Somebody says, Couscous, after you come DM and tell me why you're looking so fine this new year.
I
See,
swear. I
this
don't
new year,
understand.
we're gonna be hot. See, this new year, I have to represent. We are going forward. We are getting ahead. So, anyways, that does not mean that I'll be looking these scripts in all videos. But whatever, anyhow you see me, I'm always fine. Natural hair, braids, whatever I wear, anyhow, I'm always still fine. So yes, thank you. Okay, we have 1 minute to go. Esisha, did you remind your own audience? Because I reminded my own audience.
Oh yeah, I did. Like yesterday when I actually posted it, everyone was just texting me, I'm joining. So I didn't even know some of
They
my
should
friends were
not
interested
forget to.
I didn't even know some of my friends were interested in the whole like international student experience and all of that.
Yeah.
So the moment I said it, I actually got people texting me about the whole scholarship stuff. So I was like, oh, then maybe you should join and then also be checking
exactly
and all of that.
Please remind them to join because when we start, we have started. Remind them. You can. I don't know because you're using your phone. Okay, you've already posted the YouTube link, right?
Yeah, right. So.
Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and start now. So welcome once again, everyone. Thank you so much, Shades of Mwaduto, for joining us. Shades of Mwaduto is my YouTube buddy. We have a channel together, Sisters Who Bond, and she's here to support your girl. She said, hello, Estisha. Glad to meet you. Shades of Mwaduto was with us in the UK. She's a Qmul alumni as well.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah,
I actually didn't meet any of you guys like from other schools.
From other schools, some of them used to come to our hostel, our student accommodation. Oh, you were not around.
Nah, I never saw anyone from another
Really?
school. Yeah.
There was a time that somebody from United Student Accommodation came to my hostel with other Chimney scholars from Sussex, from University, I think Cardiff University. They came and we all came to Aspire Point. We made food. It was
Oh,
fun.
right.
We went to the mezzanine to play some games. It
Was
was
that around?
fun. I can't remember, but
Maybe.
yeah, because a few people that were available came down to greet them. One was from Ghana. Actually, I feel bad. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
You see?
One of them was from Ghana. It's true. Okay. So yes, we're going to start now. Hi everyone, welcome to this session. My name is Couscous, as you already know. We have Estisha, who is a recent graduate from Qmul University of London. You guys already know Qmul is my alma mater. So yes, I have a bias for the university. Today we're going to, because I think I've shared a lot of my experience on my channel, but my experience is quite different from yours, Estisha, because mine was, during my time, we had mostly online learning, virtual learning, remote, and all of that. But I think you've had a blend of both, because you were there when I was there as well, and had another 1 year. So you're going to tell us all your experience so that our audience can use that as a measure or as a factor to, make informed decisions when they are considering whether to go to QMUL or London or any other university in the UK. So thank you for agreeing to join us on this session.
Thank you for having me. Aww.
And my very first question to you would be, why did you select QMUL? What was that thing that influenced your decision? I'm sure that you also did a lot of research, just like what we are doing now to help other people.
Right.
In your research, you decided to settle with QMUL. What were the factors that influenced that decision?
To be honest with you, like, when I actually started looking for the schools, I didn't really have any idea about UK schools, So I was just like going through, because my whole focus was a school that had my course, like the course I wanted to do, which was a master's in management.
Okay.
So I was just going through, and then the first thing that actually caught me about QMU was like the rankings, definitely. Okay. Because I just wanted like a school that had like good ranking. So that was the first thing, was the ranking, and then so I had like a 3 or 4 schools that I was looking at. Am I allowed to mention the schools?
If you want, of course. There are no restrictions here. We are not promoting any university. We are not advertising. We are not paid to do anything. We are just doing this to help other people. So please go ahead.
At the end of the day, like, I actually did have like, I wouldn't mention the schools, but I did have like 3 or 4 schools that I wanted to apply to. And then I found, when I started with the whole management, I also went through the schools to know the courses under the management, because I felt like that was also more important. I wanted to know if these courses are courses that I'm familiar with, that I can easily understand and then get to know, because because I did business administration, I had more ideas about business already. So I wanted to do something that would make me have like an easy ace, not just courses, not like just any course or anything under it. Because I feel like there are actually some schools where when you read through, you realize that the courses under the Masters in Management are quite different.
Different, like, exactly.
Yeah, they're like things that you are not even interested in. So I had to go through, and then I realized that Queen Mary was offering all the courses that I was already familiar with, that I was really interested in. So that was also one thing. Then another thing, which I feel like is very important, was how diverse the school was. I loved it. I loved the fact that I could actually see different people from different backgrounds, from different countries.
How did you know? How did you see this?
Like, you can actually, like, you can check like reviews from people. You can also like check like the pictures and all of that. Yeah, and then when you read about the school too, you realize, and then about the course too, you realize like the lecturers are different people from different backgrounds.
Exactly.
So even with the lecturers, you know that it's not only British lecturers, it's not only like one
Yeah.
culture or something. They are like different people. So at least you feel like, oh, I'm already included here because I have a black lecturer. I have a lecturer who is this. I have a lecturer. So I'm going to be learning from like different people,
Yeah.
So that was also like, I think these three things were very, very important to me. And the fact that it was from a
Nice.
referral group too.
Russell,
Very, very
Russell
important.
group is part of ranking, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, those
Okay.
were the three main things.
I think what is most interesting here is to know that you actually went ahead to check the course modules, because a course might be BSc or MSc management in school, MSc
Exactly.
management in school B, but the course content is not the same.
Right, exactly.
People, I
Yeah.
think that's what people don't understand.
Yeah, and
Hafiz is
more
here.
like,
Hafiz is
oh,
here. He says, Sister Sarah, Hafiz, you
Happy.
will not greet me. Greet me too now.
He has always been seeing, it's me that he has missed.
Welcome,
Yeah,
Hafiz. Yes, please go
so
ahead.
I think yeah, the whole thing is with management. I don't know for other courses, so I'll speak for management. But
Yeah.
then with the whole management and what I wanted to do, which was more like management consulting, there are actually some courses that I feel like they are very essential.
Mm-hmm.
So even before you start the course, I think you should have a fair idea of what you want to do generally before you even choose the course you want. So
Yeah.
afterwards, I actually got to know that before I even become a management consultant, I should have a fair idea about management accounting, financial accounting. So these are courses that I know that it should be in the courses I'm going to be applying for.
Yeah.
And then, so if I actually go through and then I realize that these courses are not, oh, sorry.
It's
If
okay.
if I realize that these courses are not in my
In the models,
in the models, then I don't think I
there's
want to
no
do it.
need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then it might be someone also wants to do management, but then maybe wants to do something else. Then maybe you can choose another one. So I think it all depends on what you want to do in future.
At the end of
And
the day.
exactly. So you can use that also as a criteria to check. Yeah.
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense. So you know the end from the beginning, and that
Yeah,
helps you.
exactly.
But I'm sure that there are some people who would not even know. Okay, for instance, they want to study business related course, but they don't really know what they want
Right.
to do with it. We have
Exactly.
career consultants on this our channel. They are in this comment section. People like Shades of Wadito, even Hafiz. So if you are confused, always come to the channel, ask us questions, send me an email. I have a few people who are very talented that can guide you. I have like PhD researchers, they are featured on this channel. We have people like Dotu in law, Emmanuel. We have people like Shola in accounting. Now we have a Stisha in management.
Yay.
See, this channel we are loaded. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have any issues or confusion, I've also made extensive videos analyzing or explaining the different factors to consider before you settle on a course. So yes, that would be like an extensive answer to what you have just
Right.
given us. Okay, thank you so much. We're going to move to the next question.
Right.
Now, people have been asking me, even I think today somebody has asked me this question. Please, from your own perspective, when you were applying, did you have to use a student copy of transcript, or how did you submit your transcript? I know that transcript is one of the most important application documents. For me, I used an official copy. But I have a few people who has been asking me, oh, can I use a student copy? And I really don't know how to answer that, because I don't know if universities do accept student copies. For what I know is, even if you submit student copy at the time of application, you should be able to send an official copy before you get that unconditional offer. But what was your experience?
I think I actually did send an official copy. I mean, when you say official copy, does it mean it has to, like, the school has to send it, or?
Well, you explained to us how you went about with
So
your transcripts, and then we'll know.
so with my in the school I went to in Ghana, my university, when you're done, they give you your transcript, which is an
Which is a
official
student
transcript.
official.
It
They
is,
give it to you, right? That's a
yeah.
student copy.
Oh, okay, okay. If
Uh-huh.
that's it, then that's what I use.
That's what you
Because
used, right?
yes, yes, and then it is an official. It is an official copy because it
Mm-hmm.
is an official transcript. So that's
Yeah.
what I use. I use that, and then I use my certificate as well. The certificate they gave me.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the transcript was addressed to you.
yeah. I mean, yeah. That's how it is. It's like it has my name. It has
Mm.
the course I did and everything. It has all the grades and it's written on it as an official transcript.
Official transcript. Okay.
Transcript, yeah.
Okay. I think that does it because that's official. That's official.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
sometimes some schools, I think schools in
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, they have what they call official transcript and they have what they call student transcripts. And the rationale for that is students transcript is usually sent to the student. The student has access to it. But usually some institutions abroad, if they want
Mm-hmm.
a transcript, they wouldn't want the
Yeah.
one that the student has access
Has
to. They
okay.
want the university to send it directly. But I think UK schools are a bit lenient on this
Yeah.
transcript issue.
I mean, I think with there are actually two types. When you if you're saying it that way, then there are definitely two types. Like when you're a student, well, for the school I went to, as I said, in Ghana,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
when you're actually a student there, you have the student transcripts where
Yep.
students have access to it. But then when you complete the
Yes.
school, you do have an official transcript too, which is like
Okay.
the copy of what the school also has. So
Okay.
maybe it might be that you've gotten somewhere where they cannot email the school or something. At least you have the
You
official
use
transcript.
that, right?
Yes,
Ah,
exactly.
that makes a lot of
So,
sense because that's also like when we finish QMUL, they give you
mm-hmm,
you can download your official transcript.
exactly.
But I
Yeah.
think some
Yeah.
universities in Nigeria do not give students transcripts, and then if you
Okay.
have to be the one to apply and get the student copy. Anyways, I
Okay.
think UK universities are a bit lenient on this kind of issues with
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
transcript, but US universities, it is the
Oh no.
university that has to forward,
Happy. I mean, it
which
actually does make sense because like students, people can actually
yeah.
forge transcripts. So
Yes, it's very
it makes it
possible
more it makes it more credible if it's coming from the school
from the
itself.
school directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually just to wrap up on the transcript, if a particular university is requesting that you send the transcript through your institution, all you need to do is just go and apply and then
Mm-hmm.
put the address of the said university or institution in whatever country, and your school will tell you how much courier fees you're going to pay and how long it will take for the transcript to get to the people, to the university. So
Okay.
that's it. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So my next
Okay.
question is tell us about your program and the steps you took to get your master's degree. Let me give a bit of background on this question. Okay. For instance, I did an LLM at
Mm-hmm.
Qmul University of London. All I needed to do was present my undergraduate degree, that's my LLB
Mm-hmm.
degree, my law school degree, and then I did the application, submitted all my documents and transcripts, and I was able to get into LLM program, 1 year LLM program. So what was it for you
Mm-hmm.
like?
Yeah. So mine, I did an integrated master's. How do they say it? They call it an integrated pre-master's MSc management.
Okay.
That's how it's done. So that is a 2 years program. So the
Okay.
first year you do like a diploma in humanities and social sciences where you choose which of them you want. You have options of finance, you have options of social sciences and all of that. So I
Mm,
chose finance for the first year, and then the second year was a master's in management.
okay.
But so with the whole process, I submitted my official transcript. I submitted my certificate, my student certificate from my school, University of Professional Studies, and then yeah, I think that's the only thing, and then a personal statement. These are the
So
three things.
why did you decide to do the integrated masters?
It was actually during like the COVID time. I actually applied for
Oh,
the full-time master's, which was like 1 year,
1 year.
and then yes, and then I applied for this too, just in case, because when you're applying, you just want to apply for all those ones. So when I got the
The
when they
offer.
sent the offer with the management, I didn't get for the management, but then they gave it to me for the 2 years, and I
Oh,
actually got
okay.
offers from different schools as well. But then just cause it was Queen Mary, just cause it's Queen Mary.
Okay.
Yeah. And then with the whole thing it was also a good way for me to get to know more about how, because it really helped me, because I got to know how essays and stuff are done with the UK studies with the
Yeah.
first 1 year, because the first 1 year can be very, 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 very,
Hectic.
very challenging. Yeah, very challenging. That's what I'll say. Especially,
Yeah.
I don't know for anybody, but then for me, and then the masters in management, where you have to write dozens of and tons of essays. Like the first 1 year was a very good way of helping me, because you start like it was a mini master's. That's how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Prepare
like
you for the
you
main
exactly.
degree.
So it just made me, it prepared me for the main degree. Yeah, but
Interesting.
I just
That's
yeah.
yeah.
But the
So
only things I actually sorry, the
go
only things
ahead.
I had to submit was the transcript, the certificates, the personal statement, and then an IELT result. Yeah.
Oh, so you wrote IELTS.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So when I submitted everything, which was the first three, they actually sent this thing that I have
The
to an
conditional
email.
offer.
Yeah, the conditional offer that I had to write an IELTS. So I said submitted an English proficiency certificate from my school to
Mm-hmm.
show that, which showed that yeah, I was taught in English and everything. But Queen Mary, I don't know why, did not accept it still. They were just stressing me out. And then I was also in a rush because I didn't want to go back and forth with them, because I think my course had already started at that time. People had already started. So they were like 2 weeks into the course, and then I was now joining. So I was like, you know what, I'll just write this IELT. So I had to read about it. So I had to study and write IELT in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, so
Wow.
within that short 2 weeks, I had to study IELTS.
And you
I
got the
mean,
required score for the
yeah,
course.
yeah, it was, yeah, it
You
was.
have
I mean,
hot
it wasn't.
brain.
No, the whole thing. Relax, relax, relax. I don't know, like anybody who wants to write IELT, it's not really a big deal. I
You
mean,
know, people
it,
are so scared of writing out. I know that
it's
me, oh, I was stubborn. They say write. I say I'm not writing. But I didn't know that a lot of other people are so skeptical about
yeah,
writing IELTS. I don't know if it's the money or something. But people just don't
it,
like to write IELTS. Please, we should be
but
writing IELTS.
yeah, because it's not even anything. Like the whole thing is, it's not even difficult. It's just something. That's what I thought at the beginning. But then in my case, I think if I had the time, I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have written it,
Wouldn't have
because
written it.
yes, I would have just gone back and forth with Queen Mary to prove
Yeah.
that I was here. But then at that time, I didn't have the time. So my dad was like, "What? Why? What's stopping
What
you?"
does it take? Just write.
Exactly, just write the thing. So I had to go and read about it, and it was more about English. It was mainly
Yeah,
English. They just
it's
wanted
writing,
to,
reading,
yeah,
listening,
reading, listening, speaking. They just want to know
speaking.
if you understand English. That's
Yeah.
the whole idea of IELTS. They just want to know if you can read English, you can speak English, you can
Yeah.
understand English.
True.
That's all. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, Russell Group schools do ask for IELTS, but I think
Yeah.
some Russell Group schools are more lenient than others
Than
because some
others.
of them they don't insist on IELTS like some other schools.
From other schools, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but then
So
it was a
now,
nice experience.
okay. Maybe you should come back and give us IELTS tips. What do you think? So that we'll calm the fears of all those
That's
that don't
that's
like
that's
to
true.
write
That's true.
IELTS.
I can actually do that. I can actually do that. Because
Okay, just
IELTS is
give us
actually
like 2 minutes IELTS tips. Like, what do you think made you pass? In case
um
those people that want to write
yeah,
IELTS.
right. I think the first thing is you just have to be fast. Unless you are someone who like were not taught in English, unless English
Mm,
was not your first language, or like your country you were taught in different
yeah,
language, then that's where you have to study, like really serious studies. But then
yeah,
for us Ghanaians, Nigerians, where we are being taught, like in other countries where you are being taught
in
with
English.
English, you wrote your essays and then your dissertation and all of that in English. It's really about you being fast. So, because
Okay.
IELT is just, let's say, with the reading and then the speaking, it's just timed exams.
Yeah.
So we are just answering normal essay questions, reading and complexion that we do, and passages that we do in
Yeah.
primary schools. But in this case, it's just being fast because it's timed.
Yeah.
So your question comes in like 30 or 1 minute, then come next question.
It leaves.
Next question. Yeah. So you just like it just leaves like that fast. So you just have to make sure that you are fast enough to just read the question and then answer. Because they are actually very easy questions. They are just normal day-to-day questions, passages your younger sisters read. It's just that it's not fast. It's not slow
Yeah.
enough for you to take your time to read. So you're
Yeah.
just reading it in a very fast pace. That's all. Yeah.
What
So
about the reading? No. What about the writing?
oh, the writing is a passage. So it's more like they give you more like a debate question, you know. So they give you a question like an example like what do you say? Do you think going back to the future is better than going forward to the future is better than going back to your descendants or whatever? Like yeah, it's just like things that will challenge you. They just want to know if you have like your opinions on something. But the
Yeah.
main thing is just for you to write and let them know that you can express yourself.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, that's like if they ask you what is your idea about business management, they just want you
Yeah.
to go straight to the point and be answering like business management is da 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 da. This is why I like business management, and like just give them how you understand the
Yeah.
question. There's no right or wrong answer. They just want to know your understanding, how you can express yourself. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, for all those who are afraid of IELTS, fear no
Please,
more.
fear no
Please write
more.
IELTS. So there's nothing
Yeah,
there. Oh. There's nothing there.
exactly. And I
All
think
right,
it's
thank
more
you.
like, sorry.
Please go ahead.
Sorry, I'm thinking the whole time.
No,
I
it's
think,
fine. That's why you're here.
yeah, I think with IELTS, what I would advise people to do, I think that was what helped me, was the past questions,
Okay.
like, which you can find online. I didn't go to any class or anything. They have like books that has like lots of IELTS questions online. So
Yeah.
they have this book I use. I think it's called Cambridge IELT, something like that. So
Hmm.
you just download the book. It has like loads of questions. So all you need to
Okay.
do is just practice these questions with the time. Like, if the question you're supposed to answer it in 1 hour, make sure you time yourself and then answer the questions in 1 hour and see how fast you can go.
You can be. Yeah.
Yeah. So the more you do it. So I make sure like each day I solve like 3 or 4 questions per day. Back to back to back to back each day. And then that's it. So if you get the past questions and then you time yourself and then you solve it, the past questions are literally the same as the questions you write in there. That's it. Yeah.
No, that's good. I remember
Yeah.
I had registered to write IELTS. I started doing the past papers as well, but it was
Oh,
postponed indefinitely because of COVID. I was like,
COVID.
I didn't even want to write this thing. Give me back my money.
Good. Good for you. Good for you. We have to write.
Okay, at
Yeah.
least. So your course you ended up doing a 2-year course. How long was your visa? Because I know that for a 12 months, between 9 months to 12 months course,
Yeah.
usually they give about 14 to 16 months of visa. So how long was your visa, your student visa?
Yeah. My visa was 2 years. That was a 2-year visa. So it ended just what's it? It ended on
They
12.
gave you 24 months visa.
Yeah, 24
No
months technically.
addition, nothing.
No, no, not that I know of.
The
Oh, I
first
think there
course
was
you
there.
did,
I
was
think there
it
was a
1 year?
yeah. The first course was a 1 year, a full 1 year, and then the second one too is a full
Another
1 year.
full
So
1 year.
yes, yes. So it was definitely a 24 months
Wow.
visa.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking that they will give like maybe extra
Mm.
6 months since it's
No,
2 years.
no, no. It was just a
Okay.
full 2 year. Yeah.
Thank God for graduate visa.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Now let's
Yeah.
bring it down. Let's bring it back to Qmul University of London, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah.
that um as a student now, how do we access student experience is how easy things are made for students. Do you have to stress yourself to fix stuff? If you need something, how easy can you find it? How helpful are the staff and all of that? So what was your experience like in your administrative, or like, how do I put it, student experience, student records, student exams? Did you ever have any issues where your records were missing, or your details needed to be corrected and you reached out to the admin body or student support services? How was the response like?
I think they're actually good. So in the sense where they are quite helpful. It's just that, because there are a lot of students, it can't take time. So you have to just be patient with them. But then in anything, I think especially with my school, like School of Business Management, they were quite helpful, because there were even times where I remember I had this experience where when the whole submission point, the portal was not working for me. So and I had to submit my exams. And I was actually shaking because I didn't know what to do at that time. So
you waited for the deadline.
Tisha,
you waited for the deadline. That's why your body was shaking.
As a student life, we are. I mean, the whole exam, it was a 24 hours exam. And then, I wouldn't even say I waited for the deadline, because the deadline was like, I was supposed to submit it, I think, at 10. And then I finished around 7, 8. Okay. So that was what helped me. So when I finished around 7, 8, and then I wanted to submit, it wasn't working. It was like technical issues. So I was like, what am I doing? I was just doing this. I was sending emails and all of that. It was not working. So the whole thing there, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, let me just send my work through email to them. So that just in case.
To the exams and records, yeah?
Exactly. So I sent it I copied my School of Business, and then the exams and records, and then I sent an email with my work attached. So that just in case, even if the portal opens later on, it wouldn't be like I did not submit. You submitted
late.
I tried submitting, it was not working, so I sent you an email with the work. So that's what I did. And then they actually did respond to me, but then it was after the deadline, but they did respond, and then they told me as long as I've sent the work, and then there's no changes,
that there will be no penalty.
Yeah, there will be no penalties. And they even opened the portal again for me to resubmit it again. So I think
but on your portal, after you submitted, was there an indication that you submitted late?
No.
Okay, so that means they extended the deadline for you on your own portal.
They extended it. They were actually very patient with me, because the time that they sent me an email that they are going to extend the deadline, I did not see that email, because it was during like a weekend, so I didn't even see that email. So it was on Monday, that's when I opened my email and I saw that they actually did. So I had to go back and then send them another message that I'm sorry, there's something happened to my email, I was not getting it. So please, so I beg, please reopen the thing for me. And then they couldn't do, and then they did, because at the end of the day, I had already submitted the work.
You had already submitted, actually.
Exactly. They already have a copy of what I had written. So even if I do any changes, they will still know that there has been changes.
Yeah.
Because what I submitted within the time is So I just sent them that, can you please reopen the portal for me? There's no way I'll change it, because you already have the first copy. So, and then the person replied me that, that's fine. So they opened it again and gave me another 24 hours window. Then I was able to
upload. That was a lot of back and forth. They are nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they are actually very, very patient, to be honest. And even with the student inquiries, they are really patient too. Yeah, so I think Queen Mary actually has a very, very good, you can easily access information. They respond to you, maybe not on time, but then they still deliver. Definitely.
I used to call. If I send email and you're not answering me, I will call. I remember I think it was my dissertation. Hafiz knows this story. It was a dissertation, and I was running out of time. So I tried sending emails. What's the penalty? Please don't deduct my score. I'm trying to upload. I'm not feeling well. They don't English. I did not speak. So I now typed one very long. Okay, I think I had collected approval for extenuating circumstances.
Oh.
So after I had collected the approval, I think I was also running out of time again. So I was writing, I was calling the exams and records, and they were like, don't worry, just submit. We're not going to deduct your marks. I'm like,
yeah, because the whole thing is, even with mine, when they brought the transcripts out, I realized that the results I even got on the course, when they now bring the transcripts out, there will be a difference. That's if you have a penalty. So yeah, so if on K1 plus is there as, let's just say you had a 70, and then they have any deduction on the normal, on the
it will
official
be on the
transcript. On the transcript, the deduction will be taken out. So let's just say if there was a 5 mark deduction, so they will definitely, you see that on K1 plus you might have like 70%, but in your transcript there would be 65 because
without any explanation,
and without any explanation.
Wow, I didn't know. So, I just thought that if they apply the penalty, it would just come and you would see the deducted score.
No, because on K1 plus is what your lecturer has done.
Gives you. Then the deduction is done by exams and records.
So your lecturer has no idea whether you submitted it early or no, or whatever.
Not.
So he just gave you your score. And
are you sure I should not go back and look at my transcript? Because at this point there.
I mean, if you compare it and then what you saw on Qmul plus, because Qmul plus comes early, the result on Qmul plus, it comes early before. So if you see it on it and it's the same. But mine, when I saw it on it was different. So that's when I realized that was the same course I had the issue with.
So what did you do?
I had to send them an email again and tell them that there's a difference in my score. What I'm seeing in my transcripts is different from what my lecturer gave me, and I need an explanation. So they now sent me an email saying that there was a 5 marks deduction for late submission. And then I sent them the
email trail.
Emails, So I sent it to them, and then they now sent it to they now replied me that sorry about that.
And they'll fix it.
And
they updated your hair. That's the good thing about studying in UK. Exactly. The transcript issue does not take long. Once they just update, you download, and then you keep it for yourself. Wow. That was an experience.
I didn't like it, but it was actually a good thing because I don't even do those things, I don't send. I have not even had any experience with Queen Mary about sending emails and stuff.
Right?
Exactly. But then this actually gave me the whole experience. I was like, this is something I can talk about.
I used to say. See, let me tell our viewers, I know that, especially coming from a place like Nigeria, I don't really know how it is in Ghana. But Nigeria, some lecturers are really strict. And if they say this is the deadline, you can't submit after the deadline. So I know that, going to UK and seeing that, there's a deadline and there is an opportunity for you to extend the deadline if you want. There's a deadline to request for an extension. And then if you even go after the deadline, there's still another time for you to write for extenuating circumstances. So some Africans would not like to take advantage of those opportunities. They would have somebody message me that, I have 3 deadlines to submit this. I have essays to submit on the same day, 3 essays. I don't know what to do. Which one should I do first? Should I work on one essay 2 days, work on the other essay? I told the person, don't even bother. Just focus on one. Write for extension. Because sometimes we can be afraid, that if we write for extension, maybe they may not approve, or even if they approve, it's already going to affect our scores. It will not affect your score. They are very transparent. If they say this is what it will be, that's what it will be.
Yeah.
Interesting. Please let us know from our viewers if they are gaining anything. What has been your experience too? What has been your experience? Depends on your school. Please share as well, and then let us know if this is helpful. Remember to share the link to every other person that indicated interest, but they are yet to join. Okay, so I did just an LLM and that was it, 1 year, but you
Mm-hmm.
did 2 years. Can you tell us
Yeah.
what was the coursework like? And then when you're sharing, please tell us the difference between the integrated master's program and the main master's program, the course
Yeah.
differences and all of that.
Yeah. So with the integrated, it's more like basics. So
Mm-hmm.
it even helps like someone who hasn't even done business before. So if you've not done anything that has to do with finance, but then you want to go into doing like a master's in finance, you can actually do that.
Mm.
And yeah, so with mine, I chose finance. So it was more about basics about finance, and then also about how to write essays. They
Okay.
actually paid like very, very much attention to how you write your essays and all of that. So yeah, that was the full 1 year program. It was just like 4 courses, and then that's what I did the whole 1 year. So
So did
I
you
did,
write
yeah,
exams in these 4 courses or
yeah. We
courseworks?
did, we did. We wrote. There was loads. That I feel like that first 1 year stressed me than the masters, and then
Because you're used to it already during
exactly, yeah.
masters.
So yeah, exactly, because the first 1 year was introduction to UK education. You get what? And then
Mm.
the whole thing is with Ghana. I don't know about Nigeria or any other country, but then with Ghana, how we are taught and how we learn is way different from how,
Different.
yeah, UK studies. Like when you actually write an essay, nobody's just, I don't know, but my school, nobody is expecting you to write a full page, like a 3,000 words essay for what?
Yeah. And then they'll
I
be
was
looking for similarities,
exactly
plagiarism. Ha.
plagiarism. Who's doing that? Nobody has time for that. Exactly. Nobody has time for unless it was like you are writing your proposal dissertation. Then that's
Mhm.
where you even need references. But then when it was time to just like write something, nobody had anything to do with you going to do research and then write with references.
Yeah.
So when I just got there and they say Harvard, I say, you say waiting. Say Harvard, like what's going on?
How
I had
about
to like,
referencing style?
yeah, referencing style. I have to like how to read and then take like the important points out of books and all of that. It was like a whole. So if when I remember like anytime Shola will ask me the teacher what I did, I always had a coursework. I always had to read. I always wanted to be because I was really going through it on those like
Yeah.
first year. Yeah, and but then it helped in a way because I did something about contemporary business. I did something about English, how to write essays and all of that, how to
Mm.
take people's ideas in their books without plagiarizing and all of that.
Yeah.
So the 1 year was like a very, very good step to writing the master's. So if someone is applying for a master's in management, especially in Queen Mary, and then they're not giving you the first 1 year and you can actually afford it, I think you should
Mm.
go for integrated the integrated
Masters,
pre-masters.
right?
Yeah, with the masters is actually a very good experience. And it also gives you an opportunity to stay in the UK for 2 years.
For
So
longer, right?
yeah,
Not like me
yeah,
that ran
exactly,
away after 1 year.
exactly,
Oh.
exactly. So it's also a very though it's expensive because you have to pay for 2 years school fees.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if that's what I'm saying, if you can actually afford it, then I think it's actually a very good experience too. And then it helps
Wow.
you. When you start doing the masters, you realize you actually do have an upper hand as compared to other people who are just starting. Because I remember, like, I'll meet people,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have like friends who were writing essays and going through it, and then I'll just be like, okay, because I
You're
already
better
know,
off. Yeah.
yes, I already know what I was doing. I already have an idea of
Yeah.
everything that was going on. Yeah.
Interesting. So what was it like for during the master's degree? How many courses did you take? How many courses per
Um.
term? Let me say how many courses per term. I know that in 1 year masters is 180 credit unit for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did you have to break that down? How many courses?
There were semesters where I did 4 courses. There were semesters where, yeah, I think mine was actually 4 courses throughout. There was
Four per
actually 4 courses.
semester. That's 15, 15, 15. You did 15, 15,
Mm-hmm.
15.
Yeah, I did 15, 15, 15, 15. That was the killer. I actually did 15
No.
till I did dissertation, which was just
That's why
one.
you're always doing coursework,
Yeah.
because that's
So
a
I
lot.
had, and then my lecturers were just not giving me space because I always had the coursework. There was always an assignment. There was always group work. If you are doing a master's management in Queen Mary or you want to, just be ready. I'm sorry. Be ready
So,
because you're just going to be
there
doing
was no
coursework.
course that was just one assessment of 100.
No, no,
No, okay.
no.
What about two assessments of 100?
Yeah, there were courses that were two assessments over
And there were
100,
courses that were
and
more.
there were three. There were
Hmm.
there was even one course that I actually did four.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
it was entrepreneurship, but I will never forget that lecture. But then he actually stressed us out. He made it. You actually there will be a lecture. There will definitely be one lecturer that will make you feel like his course is more important than any of the other
Every
courses.
every lecturer says their courses are more important than the other, and they
Exactly.
don't really care.
They don't care. So
Because
this one,
nobody wants you to treat their course like
yeah,
it's nothing.
exactly. So there was this course that we actually did like four assessments. There was always group assessments, and then we had to just be going back and forth
So,
throughout.
other than your dissertation, what's the highest word count you have written? Because if the course is 4 assessment, I want to believe the word count better not pass 3,000 per assessment.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was I think the highest. There was one course I actually did 4,000, but then that was like two assessments.
Two
So after
assessments, better.
after the essay, you still have to write an exam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, that's better.
yeah.
Wow, okay, you did me. I didn't do any course that was 15 credit units. All my courses were
Good for
30,
you.
30, 30. But it was
That
still
was
a lot
why.
because it's like
Mm-hmm.
double. It's
Yeah,
like double because you'll
yeah.
be writing 10,000 words, 8,000 words, 7,000 words. So, yeah.
I think that 15 actually sometimes helps, because exactly what you're
The
saying, right?
expectation is lower at least.
Is lower at least I'm writing a 3,000 words. So if someone is saying they're writing 10,000, I'm like, because you're writing 3,000 words or 2,000 words, especially on different topics,
Hmm.
it also gives you a broader idea on different topics.
Different things. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
researching
So
on different things.
yeah. But then since it's just one, it also gets frustrating when it's just because when I was doing my dissertation, I really suffered because it was just
How many words was your dissertation?
it was 12,000.
Ha.
Yeah, I suffered
This
because
management is not a child's play.
it's not like when sometimes when someone hears like, oh, you're doing management, they're just like, oh, okay, management, and then they
Mm.
just leave it like that because they're thinking it's actually because it's
They walk
business.
in the
So
park. Yeah.
yeah, but then no, it's actually not funny. I thought was going to be easy, but then
But
it
you
wasn't
scaled
easy.
through.
Yeah, thank
Congratulations.
you,
You made it.
thank
You
you.
made it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I
So how
did.
many times did you have to go to school? Because usually people say, oh, it's a master's degree. I don't have to go to school. Maybe I can go to school once or twice a day and all of that. I used to tell people that I used to have classes Monday to Friday. But some people will not believe. They will say, but it's
Yeah,
master's degree. So how many
mm-mm.
now with your pre-masters? I want to believe it
Yeah,
was more of online, but if you had to go to
yeah.
classes, how many times? And the main master's degree, how many times did you have to be physically present in school? And maybe how many times did you do, like how many days online? How
Yeah.
many days physical
Um,
classes?
with the pre-masters, it was I think it was like 4 days. Yeah, it was 4 days in a week,
Out
and
of
everything was
5.
done. Yeah, out of five, and everything was done online. So
Okay.
so I was doing everything online, and you have to. When the pre-masters is actually more serious. I think it's more intense than the masters because you
Mm.
have to be in class. When you miss the lectures, and because most people don't like doing the pre-masters, so we are not as many as
Master's degree.
the master's degree. So the lecturers actually they literally know everybody's name. So you can actually be there. And then I remember there used to be a lecturer that I think he had my name in his mouth. The moment that there was a question, Esther, what do you think about this? And it was online. I was like, I thought online class was supposed to be easy. I can just turn my laptop on and then maybe sleep somewhere. But this man never made it easy for any of us because you just be there and then he just mentioned, yes, Kuseme, what do you think about this? Because he knew everybody's name and they had, so it was more like the pre-masters, it was intense. You have to be present every time because your name can be mentioned every time and they check attendance where the pre-masters, like they really take people's name and all of that. And then if you don't attend, because I remember because I had not started, I didn't start early with them. I even received an email from the chancellor for the pre-masters to say that if you miss the class or if you don't enroll on time and then you miss the class for like for the fourth time, they are going to like take you out of the course. So pre-masters is quite intense. That's how intense it was. It was just giving undergraduate vibes.
It was giving undergraduate vibes, secondary school vibes.
To be honest. So with the pre-masters, it is intense. But with the masters, nobody really cares about. But then you still have to go to campus. You still have to, be there. But then nobody's really checking you whether you're coming to class or not. But to me, I feel like I loved going to class.
Just go, yeah.
I loved getting up to just take my bag and then go to school. So it was also very fun. And then going there, you actually get to meet the people you're in class with. You get to talk to new people. So even putting everything aside. And then you also get to see your lecturer like face to face. Like have a good conversation with your lecturer, get to know your lecturers as well. I like the fact that I could talk to my lecturers like face to face when I had an issue with the course or anything. So yeah. So with the masters, I had to go to class. I think it was actually 5 days.
You just liked going to class, or you had classes 5 days?
I had classes 5 days, but then there will be times. There will be times where like it could be like a 3-hour class, just Monday morning, and then that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, and then
interesting.
It could be off. Yeah, so it was 5 days.
Now our audience knows that doing a master's degree is not. People just say, I can work 20 hours. I don't have to go to school. Maybe I'll just go to school twice a week. You guys, they always make it look like I was taking this whole thing too serious. Because
it's actually serious.
I don't even believe that I can conveniently work 20 hours and still attend all my classes. And people are making it look like you can do it. Come on. In fact, they want to work more than 20 hours.
20 hours. It's one thing. Either you work more than 20 hours and miss class, or you go for the full class and then
you can work up to 20 hours. Except maybe your weekends, you're going to be working, but then you have coursework to do.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Talking about work, let's just dive a bit. I know I didn't put. I think I put some questions about work much later. But since we've already mentioned work, at what point did you start working, and how were you able to combine that? How many were you able to do your 20 hours work a week, and how was it like for you?
Because I applied to be like a residential assistant in Qmul, so I was working on campus, and it's actually easier to get a job on campus if you're a student there. And then the residential assistants, you're also supposed to be in the Qmul University student accommodation too, so it's easy to apply and then get the job too. So and because they know you are a student as well, they are quite flexible, and then they know students have courses. So there will be times where if I have a coursework, I can tell them that this week I'm not available, I have coursework. And then
they will not schedule you for that.
They will not schedule me for that. So I think that made my work, like me working and then going to school, quite easy, because I was working on campus and then the job I got was flexible. So I think that's also, if you want to work, you should at least get a job that is flexible enough, but your manager understands that you're a student. So there'll be times where you will not be able to come to work and all of that.
Wow, I just realized that we've been talking for almost an hour and I still have a whole list of questions here. I'm not really feeling our audience. What's happening?
What's happening?
Let us see you in the comment section. Are you enjoying the session? Throw in your questions, okay? Let us feel your impact in the comment. Let's not be like just both of us are here talking, right? Okay. So, Estisha, let's talk about the grading system,
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I know sometimes you write and you feel like, maybe I didn't do so well. And then you see the score and you are satisfied. And there are sometimes you feel like you did over and above.
Yeah.
And then you see the score and the feedback, the comments from the marker. And you're like, I want to fight. I want to protest this grade. I cannot take this. I can't take this. What do you think about the grading system in UK and in Ghana? Because let me talk about Nigeria, my school. In Nigeria, where I schooled, why are you protesting your grade? Why don't you just take it and thank God?
It's the same everywhere, my dear.
But then what do you think? Is it easier to pass in UK university, or what do you, I don't know, but I know you understand my question.
Yeah, I actually do. But then this question, the whole thing is with UK, I feel like it's more about, from my experience, I think it's critical thinking. They just want it. With Ghana, you can easily fail because that question, this is the answer. If your lecture says what is business, give me that definition for business and let's go.
And from this particular textbook. If you don't give me from my textbook, you're failing.
You're failing. And I want these particular keywords. So if these keywords are not in, so that's it. But with UK, it's more about how you understand the question and how you are able to express yourself. You might not be given the best answer, but then how you make the marker understand your point of view is the most important thing. So most of the time, like when I'm actually writing my essays in the UK with UK exams, I just make sure that if I was the one reading this essay, would I have given you a 70?
Exactly.
That's my question. Like if I read it, when I finish and I read it and I'm like, Estisha, you will not get 70 here. I know it will come and I will not get 70. But then when I actually, there are some essays that I read and I'm like, I must
this
get
one
80.
makes sense.
I must even get 80. So that one as well. And then I think it also depends on the lecturer. It's just different. Like you cannot apply I cannot apply how I write my financial accounting essays to management accounting. It just different.
What are those things? I cannot relate, please. What's all this accounting flying around?
Sorry.
Why do people write essays? What are you writing?
I know. I was surprised to know that I could write. There were essays we had to write under financial accounting, and I think that's what makes UK so different from Ghana. Because with Ghana, everything was more theoretical. So
theoretical.
It was. It
or
was more
calculations or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it was more like theory. It wasn't practical. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you
so they were just teaching financial principles, concepts,
exactly.
But that's undergraduate degree. That's what undergraduate is for.
Exactly. And then they wouldn't even give you how these things can be applied in the financial world and all of that. Yeah. I feel like it was more like you're just writing to pass the exams and go.
And to understand the principles too. Actually.
Exactly. But then when you come to the UK, it's more about after everything that we've taught you, how can you apply it in real life? And that's how the whole thing was. So with the UK, it's more about application. Is this thing actually applicable? Can we actually apply it in real life? Or are you just saying it because of just for the grades? And then with how I used to write essays too, it's more like that's what I learned from the pre-masters. Like you have to look at both sides. If you are saying that Kuseme is a fine girl, let's just say there's Kuseme and then there's Hafiz, and then you're saying that Kuseme is a girl. Are you trying to say Hafiz is not a girl?
You have to justify.
You have to justify
why do you think so?
yeah, Kuseme is a girl and they're not at her feet. Why is it like there has to be always like
Both
looking at the two
arguments.
sides, yes, and they give us reasons why the answer is this, why you're saying this is this.
Yeah.
It might be you don't agree or the lecturer does not agree with you,
Yeah.
but then at that point, they are not
You
thinking
have to,
about what they agree with. They are thinking about how you are
how
making them
you
understand.
justify it, how you
Exactly.
justify your point.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
making
So,
me feel like going back to school, but no, I'm not going to fall for it.
oh,
I'm
I
not
thought of
going
it
to fall
1,000
for
times.
it.
Even on my graduation day, when they were talking, I was like, sure, I'll not do PhD like this.
Please go and do actually. Your friend is doing PhD. I cannot see all these things. I don't want it. But yeah, I can understand it. It's
Yeah.
very practicable. They use, studying in the UK, they use real life situations. If
Yeah.
you're studying advertising and there's a current case going on who breached whose advertisement procedure, they bring it to class.
They
What do you guys
definitely,
think?
yeah, exactly.
It's
Right.
actually fun. It's actually fun.
Yeah. And it actually helps you, because I mean, as someone like me, I don't watch news and all of that. But
Yeah.
then when I go to class, because they apply current issues, like
Yeah.
there'll be courses where we'll be doing like risk management, and then they'll be applying current issues. I'm like, oh, this is actually going on. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You get it? So it will actually make you more curious about what's actually going on in the world.
What's going
Because
on?
you go and that's why going for lectures is also a good idea. Because when you go, you realize that there are actually people who really know stuff about
These things, right? Who
these
are
things, yeah.
practicing it already before they even came
Right.
to
They
school.
even came to school. And it helps you. It challenges you. Like going
Yeah.
to class actually challenges you not to just learn because they're giving you slides. But then when you go to class and then you're seeing people talk about this, that, you're like, I need to also go and read though, so that I'll also be able to talk.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I think we've been talking a lot about the academic work, the
Mm-hmm.
coursework for Qmul. Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying this session. And I just hope that it doesn't get too long because
I hope
we've
so. I
already
hope so.
we've
1
exceeded
hour.
1 hour so far. Thank you so much
Wow.
for being so detailed.
It's
Thank you.
alright.
Let's move
Alright.
a bit from academic work to accommodation. Student accommodation is one of the most talked about issues in study abroad context, and currently I've heard that a lot of people, or there's housing crisis in the UK. So, but tell us about your student accommodation experience. So I and Anesthesia, we lived in the same accommodation.
I actually
And
work at Aspire Point.
I did your it was one of your rooms I showed during my Aspire
Yeah,
Point
yeah, yeah,
tour.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, what was your experience like?
Um, it was actually, you mean like applying or just staying there in the
No, living there in that student
living in the?
accommodation.
It was
Yeah.
actually fun,
Tell us
to
the
be honest.
good, the bad, and the ugly.
I mean, like the first 1 year, because of the whole COVID issue, it was quite like frustrating at the beginning. But then I loved how
But
you
Esisha, I
guys.
was there to
It's
cook
like
jollof rice for
you know
you.
let me finish now. You know let me finish. But I loved how, because I think with me knowing the kind of person I am, you guys actually really made me settle in, because I realized that when everybody left and then it was like the second year I had to stay, that's where I knew this is Estisha. This is the normal Estisha I know. The Estisha that will not go out and then make friends or
Yeah,
something. But then because it was like COVID and then we're all in an enclosed space, you have to
yeah,
make friends
yeah.
to be there. And then I met amazing, amazing, and amazing people.
Hey,
Yay!
you mean amazing Nigerians? Hey, hey.
I was Yvonne and William now. They are Ghanaians.
I know, but amazing
Yeah, but
Nigerians.
seriously, like you guys were so fun. You
Thank
made
you.
you made like my stay in the UK generally like so
Thank you.
fun.
Thank you.
And it
Thank
was
you.
like the best memories ever, like till now. Sometimes I just be
Oh,
born, I'm like, oh, these people, where's Kusema, where's Happy? Yeah. So like
I miss Yvonne's jollof rice and salad.
jollof rice, and
Ah, that salad is to
it was
bang.
the best. Yeah, but then like living in the student accommodation is actually fun just to meet new people.
Yeah.
Just to like meeting new people. And then there's sometimes where you even get to meet like your course mates even
Yeah.
in there where you can study together and all of that. Because we have study rooms, there's games and all of that. So
Yeah.
living in the student accommodation, I'll recommend it to everybody. I mean, there are people who would want to rent their,
Private
places and all of that
apartment.
private. But I think to me, if any of my siblings are even coming to study in the UK or
Mm.
in the and I still have a place, I'll still recommend they go to the student accommodation just to have that experience, to get to know different people, like
Mm.
for especially from different backgrounds. Because if you stay at your home or you rent a place, it's more like it's just people that you know. So
Mm.
if I know like
Yes.
it's just like people I know. Because right now, me renting a place, I'm just hanging out with people I already know.
You know,
Yeah,
yes.
unless maybe I meet someone outside like work or something. That's when I'll get to know new people. But then being
Yeah.
a student accommodation, you are in a flat with people from different countries. So
Yep.
it helps you to just know someone. You get to know someone from China, someone from
Yeah.
Nigeria, someone from Malaysia. Like they're just,
Yeah.
and it's so fun because you get to know like um people's culture, their food, their like so many new
Yeah.
experiences that you get. Yeah, so living in a student
Tell
accommodation
us
was
the
fun.
bad and the ugly.
Was there any bad? Maybe did I find anything bad?
Estetisha, there was no bad in Aspire Point.
Hmm. Yeah, the funny thing is I actually work in Aspire Point, so it's gonna
So
be
I
biased, you know.
no.
I'm going to
Okay.
be biased. yeah, but
Okay.
then but then I think uh I don't know if there's any bad.
I think the
I
bad
don't
in a
actually.
student accommodation would literally be the people you're living with. If you're living with people that do not
Oh,
really
fair
respect
enough, fair enough,
others,
fair
people
enough.
that
Like
do
if you
not,
actually,
have that
yeah,
inclusive nature,
yeah,
do not
yeah.
respect
That's
other
that's
people's
that's
boundaries and
that's
all.
true. That's true. Yeah, when it comes to like the people in the flats and all of that, then
Yeah.
that could be a problem because
Yeah.
on the last like my final year, I actually had issues because I was in a flat with people from the same background, and then it was
Mm.
like they were always together and they didn't care about me because I was the
Mm.
only person from a different background. So it was
Wow.
like, yeah, they used to do things their own way, invading people's privacy, as you said.
Hmm.
So with that, it could be an issue because you don't choose who you are going to be in the same
Exactly.
class with. You just go and then meet people. So
Yeah.
it might be that you might meet people
Mm.
who don't respect other people, and then yeah.
Mm.
But aside that, I think the good part outweighs the bad
The
part.
bad, right? Yes, I
Yeah.
actually
So
did
yeah.
enjoy my time at Aspire. You know, a
I
lot of
mean, you
people
guys
come
were
to
fun,
my
oh.
DM and then they ask me, oh, couscous. I used to, first of all, they'll say, are you still at Queen Mary? Are you still at Aspire Point? I'm like, my goodness. I just did 1 year program and 3 years
Maybe
later,
you're
all
doing
of you are still asking me
undergraduate.
if I'm still in Aspire Point.
I mean, like, guys, couscous was like the best, the life of the party. Couscous was like, she was the person that you'll be in bed. She come and pull you. And teacher, today we are going here. Today we are going here. I've
Me,
seen this
no,
place here.
I'm not like that. I'm not like
You
that.
okay? Oh, okay.
Hafiz is saying yes, so weekly inspectors. I not tell that this to no, I feel like so weekly inspectors in Aspire Point, they used to inspect
Mm.
the kitchen once every week to
Oh,
ensure that everyone
was
cleans
it
their
a bad
kitchen.
thing? I don't think
For
it was
me,
actually a
I
bad
don't think
thing.
it was a bad thing because it made
Yeah,
people to, it's just that some people didn't
exactly.
like to clean. So because
Mm-hmm.
clean the inspection is coming, you have to clean for them because you
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
to be fined.
Yeah, but I actually think that was like a very, very good thing, to be honest. Because,
It's just that why people do not like that is because they felt like the cleaners should be able to clean all the public areas, including the kitchen. Because I've paid for accommodation and it's bills inclusive, I shouldn't have to be the one to clean the kitchen. That's what people were saying. But
yeah,
I
but
just
then
feel like if you clean as you go, it's not that difficult now.
it's not really a big deal. But at the same time, I feel like when you're actually renting your house, yeah, or you buy your house and all of that, you clean your kitchen, So
Well, people's rationale was that, living there was a bit of on a higher side than renting a private accommodation. So if I'm paying that high, I should be able to be a bit more comfortable by not cleaning,
Yeah.
clean for me.
That's true. I mean, that's true. That's true in a way. But then at the same time, I just feel like, as you said, if you clean as you go, it wouldn't be an issue. But then just for
Yeah.
people who don't really like to clean, so it was always like an issue.
Yeah.
But then this was like something that was done like once a week. So
once a week, yeah. It's not a big deal for us Africans, but it was a big deal for other people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So Afi said it was as if you're living. Okay, so it was if you're living with messy people and then others get fined for the failure of a few people. It's so annoying. I have cleaned my own room. My work is to clean the sink area and the cooking area. You have to clean the floor. You refuse to clean the floor. They now come and find everybody.
But then that's not how it was done, or was it that? Nah.
I can't even remember, but if they find one person in the room, if they don't find one person, they find the flat.
I think it was actually because if there's one person, if your flat doesn't have an empty room, then it means those in the flat are in charge of making sure that room was, like the
taking care of
chores. So if it wasn't that, if the person's chore is not clean, then that's how they charge everyone. But then if the flat is full and you do your job, they charge the person who didn't do their job. So
let's just explain how this thing works for our viewers in case they don't understand. So yes, if you want to live in a Qmul accommodation, student accommodation. So for instance, Aspire Point, they have 7 rooms in a flat. So everyone has to clean the kitchen, and the inspection is, I think, every Monday. Now, when they come so the task was divided into 7 in the kitchen. So the sink area, the oven, the floor, the fridge. I still remember these things. So they'll come with this paper. I think something like this, but white paper. If your entire kitchen is clean, they'll put green, very good. If part of the kitchen is clean and a few is dirty, like maybe 5 things are clean, 2 dirty, they'll put yellow. They say, clean the floor, clean the fridge. And then they'll go and then they'll say they'll come back and check.
It's my workplace, please.
Whatever.
You don't do that.
And then if more than 3 places are dirty, they'll now put red. They'll say poor. And then I'll give you 2 days to clean. And they'll come back and check. So that kind of thing. Some people will clean, some people will not. So that may be one of the disadvantages. Now, Shades of Nwaduto says, can you talk about how you were able to adapt to UK culture, like language, weather, transport system, and the people generally?
Oh, weather. I'll start with weather. I'll definitely start with weather because like the whole thing is, anytime, like there were times where, thankfully, I and my siblings used to come to the UK, but then anytime we would come, it would be in summer. So I didn't have any idea how cold, and I mean super cold, a country can be. So and unfortunately for me, I came in November, so it was like, welcome to the cold.
Winter.
Winter, like it was freaking cold, if I can use freaking. it was so cold. It was so cold. It was super cold, and I don't know, like I have never experienced any kind of cold like that before. Yeah, it's actually cold. So you can't even do anything about the weather. All you need to do is just get warm, as heavy and warm clothes as possible. So with the weather, and then the whole thing is, you never get used to the cold weather. Like
really?
You never get used. You never get. It's still cold. Like even till now that I'm talking to you, it is still cold. It's still cold. Like I cannot say that. Oh, I've been in the UK for 1 year or 2 years, so I don't feel the cold. It is cold though.
You still feel
cold. It's still cold. Like there's nothing like, oh, I'm used to the weather. It's so cold, so you just need to have like heavy clothes and all of that.
Yeah.
And
transport
culture.
Transport system.
Transport, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, the TFL and all of that, like taking bus and trains.
Mm.
In Ghana, nobody takes trains.
Mhm.
To be honest, there are no trains. I'm not even going to bluff. There are no trains in my
But they are
country, please.
buses.
I mean, the buses, like these buses that we have in the UK, are buses that goes like long distance. Let's just say from
Mm.
Accra to Kumasi or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are like vans that we have.
Mm.
And then those ones we pay in cash. We don't use anything like
Cards
PP
and all.
cards
Yeah.
or anything. Yeah. So definitely that was like a huge change and all
Yeah,
of that. Like the
difference.
whole yeah. And even the fact that you don't even use your card for literally everything was even like a whole big deal for me as well.
Mm.
Because in Ghana I just use my cash and then I'm gone.
Mm.
But then now I don't even remember the last time I saw cash because I
My
always like
dear.
use yeah
Everything
because
is
you always
card.
yeah so you always have to like have your debit card and everything, which is actually a good thing, but in a way
Yeah.
too is more like a cultural shock in a way because
Mm.
you are not used to how it was. And then when it comes to like culture generally, there's a huge difference. So when you are coming to the UK, brace yourself because even the way people speak, to be honest, and be doing in it. How are you? How are you? I please. You need your ears have to be opened enough
To
to hear
understand what
every
they're saying. Otherwise, if you say, excuse me, pardon?
pardon. You always say pardon, 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 pardon. And you always say pardon, sorry, pardon,
Mm.
sorry, and then you just know that if someone sees you and then actually, are you okay? It's not because you are sick or something. It's just a form of
Are you
greeting.
all right?
You're right.
Letitia,
It's
are
just
you
like
all right? You okay?
like I felt you at the beginning when someone says you're right, I just feel like, why do I look like I'm sick? I used to think that way. But then
Mm.
yeah, as time goes on you get used to it.
You get
And then
used
you
to
even
it.
yeah, and you even
Start
start saying
start saying it
mm-hmm,
to people too.
exactly, yeah. But
Mm.
yeah, being in the UK is fun,
Yeah,
interesting, and it's quite educational. You learn new things.
you
You
learn
learn
new
new,
things.
like yeah, definitely. If you're someone that has been staying with their parents, like the way I used to stay with my parents, like it's going to be a very very huge shift.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then it's also a very good way of being independent. So yeah,
You have to literally do everything by yourself. I don't
everything
like
by
that part.
yourself.
I do not
You
like that
do.
part. I don't because back home I didn't used to do things by myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when I was not living with my parents, you could easily get people to do stuff for you. But in the
Stuff
UK,
for
you are on
you.
your own. You
You're
are.
on your
If you
own.
don't do it, it's not gonna get done. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's more like you always have to be up to date about stuff that are going on. As with something like with the bus and all of that, you always
Hmm.
have to, yeah, because there
Yeah.
will be times where they'll just be like, oh, the trains are
They
not working
tube
today.
strike. Yeah.
Exactly. So you always have to be up to date with stuff like that.
What's
Always,
going on?
yeah, know what's going on in the UK. Just
You
yeah,
always have to check your map before you leave the house.
you leave
You
the house.
always
Yeah,
have to check the weather before you leave the house.
yeah, definitely. To know whether you are wearing cold, you are wearing heavy clothes or light
Or not.
jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, interesting. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we're going to wrap up very soon. So, guys, if you have any questions, you can put it in the
Yeah.
comment section. Now, let's talk about the cost of living, right? I know I have made a video about how to use, transportation, public transportation in the UK. So,
Yeah.
if you want that video, you can check it out on my channel. I've also made a
Mm-hmm.
video about cost of living in the UK as an international student. However, when I made that video 2 years ago, now, can you just give us like an idea? How much do you spend? And then maybe last year or year before, and now
Yeah.
this year, because this year, no, I wanted to say 2022 and
Mm-hmm.
earlier, because you were
Yeah.
there in 2020, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how much did you used to spend back then, and how much of a difference did it make in 2022? Because I heard, oh, cost of living has increased and all of that. So
Yeah.
give us an idea.
To be honest, even during the time, because we came in 2020, which was like during COVID, so we were not spending that much because it was basically groceries. You were
Yeah.
not going
We
anywhere.
were
You're not
not
even
going
taking.
out and
Yeah,
all.
exactly. So it was like it was a very good way of saving. because at that time it's just all we needed to think about is food. Not really like clothes stuff, because it was like you're not going anywhere, so you don't really need serious
Need to
clothes,
shop like that.
Yeah, you didn't have to shop like that, so it was more like that. But when we now, like, there was no lockdown, and then God, the shift was massive. I was spending like, I didn't know.
You used to go to Oxford Street, didn't
I
you?
didn't know.
Oxford Street was your best street,
And the thing is, there are beautiful things in the UK. There are actually beautiful
Everywhere
things.
you go in UK, they're calling you, come on back, come on back. Like, things are so cute in the stores.
Exactly. You
Me,
can't
I didn't
help
used
it.
to go to the mall, because they know how you go to the mall, you will not spend. I used to avoid
There's
going to
no
the
way.
mall.
Yeah. So I think like the first thing that I would say is just being disciplined. Because that's what I've actually learned these days. I'm even still learning, to be honest. I'm actually still learning. But then right now, it's more like the time that I was a student, I was being taken care of, although I was working. So it was not as massive. But now that I'm making my own money, you need to be disciplined. Like you actually need to.
So discipline comes in when it's your money. When it's your daddy's money, we're spending.
You are spending. That's the thing. Like if you know, if you actually, and then I think the whole thing is, I would always say this, yeah. When you actually have like your parents taking care of like you,
The
especially in
bills,
school,
yeah.
yeah, the bills and everything. Please make sure that you save as much as possible. To
Thank
be
you for
honest,
this
like
advice.
really, unless you have parents who are willing to even take care of you throughout till whenever, like you get a job or something. But then my parents, my dad was willing to take care of me whilst I was in school. But then he made me know that after school, I
Yeah,
don't
you're
have
on your own.
my dear, I don't have any business with you. So especially at my last month of completing, I wish I was not buying pin.
You need the money.
I need the money because you have to pay rent, you have to pay bills, you have to transportation these days. I don't know how and why, but then it has really increased. So you need to be so disciplined not to buy anything anyhow. These days, I don't even like going to the mall. If you invite me, if you want us to be somewhere, please let's be somewhere else, not the mall.
Else.
Because the moment I see something, I
That's
might
not
end
how
up
you
buying.
enter the mall. You want to buy something.
Exactly. So just find, and I think you should plan as well. These days, I have like a plan. Maybe
Budget.
within the week, yeah, like a budget within the week. I make sure I don't spend, let's just say, more than £100. And then if that's how I'm going, I make sure that
Yeah.
I plan it and do it that way. So even if there's going to be an emergency or like overspending, it shouldn't be
Yeah.
more than like a £10 or £20. But then if you plan within that, so there are some times where I actually like within my 100.
Hafiz is not having it.
You
I think I
know,
should call. Let's go and order food from Five Guys.
I beg, I'm not doing
Let's
that
go to
again.
Waffles Mister at Oxford Street.
We are not doing that again. But then I think it's more like irrespective of the budget, you should also like you should know the kind of person you are. If you're someone that likes going out, at least for yourself, like treat yourself
Yeah.
as well. So like within my, if I have like £100 budget for the week, in the £100 budget, I have like maybe one of the weekends where I'll probably just order something out.
For yourself.
So
Yeah.
yeah, for myself. So if you do it that way, it becomes a normal thing. But then if you're like you're saving back to back to back, the day you enter the mall,
You're going to spend
you
everything.
you bring everything out. So you just make sure that you have a budget that accommodates everything, and then also makes you at least some air, just have fun while
Yeah.
still being able to save. But then, yeah, it's always good to plan and have a budget for a week, like budget per month, budget for a week, how much you're supposed to spend, and then you'll be fine. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We have been
It's
on for
alright.
almost 1 hour 30
1 hour
minutes.
30 minutes. Yeah.
Whoa, I'm enjoying this chat. Hafiz,
It's
do you
actually
want to
fun.
come on this chat? Come and share some
Yeah,
experience.
he should come. He
Shades
should
of
come. He should
Magic, or do you
come.
want to come on? I'll just send you the invite code.
They should
Let
join
me
us. They
know.
should join us.
If you want to join, please, I'll send you the invite code because
Happy, I want to
just
see you.
give me 1 minute. I will freeze a bit because I have to share this link.
Okay.
I will freeze a bit. I hope they don't cut me off, Sha. I know Afis might not want to join, but I'll still put this link. Queen Mary, Afis, come. Ah, thank you so much. So,
Happy.
Estisha,
That's all right.
what would you say if, let's say, with all this information you have now,
Yeah.
what would you have done differently if you were starting the process all over again? So, as you're answering this question, you're also advising the people who want to,
Yeah.
Start their process now.
So,
Maybe school application, learning, coursework, accommodation, life in general.
yeah.
What would you have done differently with all the knowledge that you have now?
I think when I start from the beginning, like before the application, I think by now, if you want to apply for your studies in September, I think you should start your research and everything now. Like any time from now, it's best to have like a good idea, have a list of the schools you want to do, like have a fair idea of what course you really want to do, and then which schools like you actually want to apply to, research on the school, how they are, talk to people about it as well. I mean, Kuseme is always here to help us, So you can always like run to Kuseme's channel and then get to know like about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but I think that's the one thing I didn't do early. That's the reason why I'm in like 2, 3 weeks when they started the
Yeah.
course, I had not even started. It was because I had not started the whole process on time. So I think the first thing that you need to do is just start researching as early as possible to just know the course you want to do, like what you. I think the first thing you actually need to start thinking of is what do you really want to do? Like even after the course, what do you want to do? Because if you know what you want to do, as in career wise,
Yeah.
then you can from there choose what course is best for you, and then under the courses also check which of the models they are doing that you think that helps develop you in the field of whatever you want to do, like your career field.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like the first thing, to be honest. And then when it comes to coming to the UK, I think you should talk to people. I think the first thing that I would actually advise anybody is just read more. There are actually YouTube videos and all of that channels about how life is in the UK as well. So just I think you should educate yourself more about how it's going to be. At least have a fair idea of so that you will not be too shocked when you get there. You will not be too
You
surprised.
will be shocked, but the shock will be minimal.
Yeah, it will be minimal. Like now that we are talking about code and all of that, at least now you have an idea. So when you're coming, you're bracing yourself. I mean, it will shock you after the code. It will shock
Yeah.
you. But even if it shocks you, you just know that you have like warm, clothes that it would help you, and then you feel all right. So it's more about just watching YouTube videos and all of that to get more information about how life is in the UK, how things are done in the UK, how you can even plan your life in the UK. If you're someone that also wants to stay in the UK even after studies, like what are some of the things that you can do to help you,
Help
secure
you
a
do that.
job? Yeah, even secure a job in the UK and all that. These are things that I think that I should have actually done even when I was in school too. Like, what are some of the things that I can do to easily get a job right after uni and all of that? So if you have the chance and then you are free now, I think these are all things that you should be doing to make your life. I mean, it's not going to go as planned sometimes. It might be that you do your whole research and everything, and then, as we said, it could shock you. But then, even if it does shock you, but even if it does shock you,
Yeah.
like you still have a plan, like a massive plan. So no matter how shocked you are, you still have a plan that you would follow. Yeah. And what else? With studies. With studies, I just say, just do your best. To be honest, it's going to be difficult. There were times where I actually even lost it. I cried even during my dissertation a lot because my head was. I remember I used to talk to Sophie. Sophie would come to my room and I just covered myself in my blankets. I was going through it because it got to a time. It gets to a point where you will go through it.
Everybody
Like,
gets there.
yeah, but then it's just a phase. It will just
It's a
pass.
phase you'll
Yeah,
pass.
and then I think you also need to trust yourself. As long as like you are doing what you know is right, what you know
Hmm.
is best, you are going for lectures, you are doing your coursework, you are reading and all of that, then it shouldn't be an issue, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, so just listen to your lecturers, do what you're supposed to do, and it's just gonna work, irrespective. No matter how crazy it would be, at the end of the day, you still would get the best results if you
Yeah.
actually listen to every consultant like Kuseme.
No, but yeah,
Yeah.
please ask your lecturers if you are confused. Ask your
Yeah, I mean,
lecturers if you are
yeah,
confused.
definitely. Yeah. And then there are also people that also give like learning tips and
Yeah.
all of that, that you can, yeah, people that have graduated and then finished with first class merits that you can also ask.
Yeah.
So that
I
you know
remember
how.
I remember the webinar we did last time on
Yeah,
academic writing.
exactly. I was writing everything, and
That
anytime I
webinar
was
was
doing,
4 parts. It was long.
it was actually very long. It was really long. I remember when I was doing my dissertation, I had that webinar how they explained everything. So I was just comparing. I just have I done the right thing? The question said I should do this. Have I done it? I had to go. I just had to do
Yeah.
everything because I had to. Like dissertations are like 60 credits. With mine, it was 60
Yeah.
credits. So I was like, if I fail dissertation,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna fail.
You
So I
cannot
have
even have below a 60 in dissertation. It will affect a
exactly.
lot.
It would, yeah, unless you have like the
AAA
best,
and all of
yeah,
that in the other
the best,
courses.
yeah. That's the only way it will not shake you. But if not, it definitely would. Yeah, but if you actually follow all the processes we've talked about, I think you should be fine. Definitely.
Ask a lot of questions. If
Yeah.
anytime you're confused about your coursework, ask your lecturer to break it down. If your
Yeah.
lecturer is not doing justice to it, go to researchers,
Exactly.
PhD
Right.
students that are doing that
Yeah.
program.
And I
Ask
think
them
we
for
should.
help.
Yeah, and I think like people should also make friends in their classes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the reason why like going for lectures is more important because when you go,
Yeah.
you definitely meet one or two or three course mates that because there are sometimes where you might not know, and then
Mm.
your lecturer, you send an email to your lecturer is not responding, but you need the answer urgently to do something. If
Yeah,
you
and
do
your
have,
colleagues will
yeah,
always give you.
yeah, your colleagues are always there to help. There are people that you can actually go and then study with. You can
Ah,
also, yeah. So
I remember
it's
one
just
time
best.
I was looking for a topic. I didn't have a topic and I was running out of time. It was my colleague that gave me topic. You could
Exactly.
stay there.
Right.
Me,
Yeah.
I can
So
ask
it's
questions.
mm-hmm. So it's always because when I actually like with the pre-masters because it was online, I didn't really I knew like one or two people.
A
There were
few
two,
people.
yeah, two friends that I had not even seen them in person. I was just chatting and all of that. But then we
Mm,
used to, and it was during like our final proposal and then our final exams, we actually called each other on Teams
mm,
whilst we were doing the exams, and then we were just discussing, and it was so
mm,
helpful because like
yeah.
you might be deviating on the slightest thing, and then it would just be your friend. And during exams, there's no lecture to come in. We are not going to call any lecture. Nobody is willing
They
to
will not
help.
even answer. It's
Exactly
exams. You're
during
on
those
your own.
right. So it's your course mates that will
That
help
would,
you in those
yeah.
peak times. Unless your course mates, they also say they don't have any idea. That's when it escalates to your lecturer and then the school and all of that. But then
Mm.
I think if you have your friends around, they are definitely like the first people that will always help you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Estisha.
It's
Thank you
all
so much.
right.
Guys, let
Alright,
us
super.
see your comments. We're wrapping up now. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. We really appreciate you.
Hey.
We have been discussing for 1 hour 30 minutes. Let me tell you, I've not finished. You know, I've skipped a lot of questions, but I had to end it here because this life cannot enter 2 hours like this.
No.
So guys, if you have any further questions, drop it in the comment section. So what I usually do is whenever I host a live with somebody and then I get questions after the live and I cannot answer them, I will still send it to you so you can answer them for people. So if you're watching and you still have any further questions, or after this session you remember something, please drop it in the comments of this video, because I will save this video and you can always watch it and share it. Please share this video to a lot of people. It will be helpful. It doesn't have to be Queen Mary. If you're interested in other universities, this video will serve as a guide. You can compare and contrast. You can use these questions to ask other people in other universities and see what their responses are. That way it will guide you, especially the students' experience with the administration, school administration, the students' body, students' inquiry centers. Is very important, because there was a time I was applying for a job and I was doing my dissertation then, so I felt like, I could I could work more than 20 hours since I was doing my dissertation, and I had to send the email to Students Inquiry Center and explain the entire situation. And it was Students Inquiry Center that told me that because you're a 1-year master's degree student, you do not have holidays. Your dissertation time is not holidays. You cannot work more than 20 hours. So that was, if I didn't send that email, I would just have gone ahead to get it and I would be in trouble. But so it's important that you are able to know how responsive your prospective school is so that they can make the experience smooth for you. Thank you, everyone. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to. Follow us, ring notification bell so that whenever I post new videos, you would know. I'm doing a live session on how to travel, how to tour Europe on a budget on Friday. I have a colleague of mine who has been traveling since we were students in UK. She has probably gone to like 25 European countries. So she'll come and tell us how she did it on Friday. So please make it a date with us.
This year I must travel.
Yes, so she's ready. She's gonna give us tips, and she's like, "Cause I don't spend money on these travels." I'm like, "Are you for real?" She said, "Yes." So she'll come and tell us. Plan to join that live on Friday. It's still going to be the same time, 3 p.m. West African time, 2 p.m. UK time, same station, same host. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Thank you, Estisha. I'm going to let you go now. Thank you for having us. All right, guys. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.